The African plains stretched endlessly beneath a burning sky, waves of heat rising from the ground, dancing over the golden grasses, where life fought to survive under the weight of nature's beauty and cruelty. Zer, the lioness once feared and respected, now limped through dry shrubs, her breath shallow, her ribs pushing through her skin as hunger gnawed from within. The cause of her suffering was wrapped around her chest, a thick, discarded tire pressed so tightly it carved wounds into her flesh and crushed her spirit. Her once powerful legs dragged slowly. Her roars were replaced by low, broken groans that disappeared into the wind. She tried to hunt, but every movement brought pain, and her body gave in before her will could act. Antelopes and zebras passed nearby, untouched by her presence, unaware that their ancient predator had become helpless prey to something left behind by mankind. The sun, which once warmed her as she led hunts and guarded cubs, now scorched her weakened back as her eyes searched for hope that never arrived. In a distant forest where green shadows danced beneath acacia trees, Keo the silverback gorilla moved quietly, his senses attuned to every rustle and scent. Elder among his kind, Keo was respected for his silent wisdom and calm presence. That morning, as he foraged for fruit, his gaze caught a shape far beyond the tree line, the faint figure of a lioness stumbling, her movements jagged, her form collapsing under unseen weight. Keo froze, his eyes narrowed, analyzing from afar. Though lions were feared, this one triggered no warning inside him. Instead, he felt an ache in his chest, a deep recognition of pain. The object crushing her ribs, black and unyielding, did not belong in the wild. Keo's instincts urged him to flee, but something stronger made him stay: compassion. Without hesitation, he turned and began walking away from the forest, away from the known safety, toward the one place animals rarely dared to approach, the human camp. Rangers at the outpost were starting their day. Aisha, the veteran, checked, a tranquilizer rifle with focused eyes that had seen every kind of emergency. Beside her, Javier tightened bolts on the transport cage, his mind still fogged by sleep. Suddenly, strange hoots echoed from outside the electric fence. Both froze. Aisha stepped forward carefully. There, just beyond the barrier, stood Keo. He beat his chest softly once, then pointed with one massive arm toward the far fields, his face etched with urgency. Aisha lowered her weapon slowly, eyes locked on his expression. He is not warning us. He is asking. Javier hesitated. That is impossible. Aisha stepped back. Pack the bolt cutters. Bring antiseptic, sedatives, and a net. We follow him. Keo began walking slowly, stopping often to check if the humans were behind him, each time grunting softly, his pace measured and deliberate. Through dirt roads, tall grass, and rocky paths, they followed the great ape into the savannah's heart. The land seemed to hold its breath. Birds circled quietly overhead. Finally, under the shadow of a sun-bleached tree, they saw her. Zer lay half buried in dust, her chest barely rising, the black tire a twisted symbol of human negligence. Aisha gasped quietly. She is fading, she said, her voice tight. Javier crouched beside the lioness. We have one shot. If we fail, she may not survive. Aisha steadied her aim and fired the dart. The tranquilizer hissed through the air and struck true. Zer flinched, her muscles tightening, then loosening as the drug spread through her bloodstream. Javier started the hydraulic cutter. Its motor buzzed, jaws opening like a machine of mercy. As he approached, Aisha held the lioness's head gently, whispering softly, calming the storm in her slowing heart. The cutter pressed into the rubber. The tension in the air was unbearable. Every second mattered. Finally, with a loud snap, the tire broke apart and dropped away. Javier pulled the torn rubber free and tossed it aside. Beneath, the lioness's skin was raw, blood seeping through open wounds. Aisha cleaned her quickly, spraying antiseptic while checking her pulse. Zir stirred. Her eyes fluttered. She tried to rise, her legs buckling beneath her. Then slowly, strength returned. She stood, tall but trembling, and looked around. Her gaze met Kio's from across the clearing. They held that look for seconds that felt eternal. The lioness and the gorilla, two creatures linked by something unspoken. Then she turned and walked into the tall grass, every step stronger than the last. Moments later, from beyond the tree line, her pride appeared. They moved cautiously at first, then joyfully surrounded her, nuzzling her side, welcoming her back. Kio watched, motionless. His mission was complete. Without a sound, he turned and walked away, vanishing into the trees. Back at the truck, Aisha leaned against the door, silent. Javier looked at her. Did we just witness that? She nodded slowly. No one will believe it, but we saw it. He came for help. This was more than a rescue. It was a reminder. A gorilla chose to help a lion. A ranger trusted a gesture. A lioness lived because species chose compassion over fear. This is what makes stories unforgettable. This is what turns survival into legacy. Somewhere deep in that savanna, a lioness runs again because a gorilla felt her pain and acted. Somewhere under the same sky, another tire waits to be thrown. Another animal waits to be saved. But maybe, just maybe, someone will make a better choice. Let this moment inspire you. Let this story remind you that kindness needs no language, and empathy belongs to all living beings. If this story touched your heart, imagine the ones we have not yet heard. Like this video. Subscribe for more untold moments from the wild. And remember, even the smallest act of care can change the world.